In this video, we're going to be talking about multi-year grants and guaranteed income cash assistance. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Rinde from AskRinde, and welcome to the #1 community for real estate, income, and credit. So if you'd like to know more about multi-year grants and how to get grants consistently, also, I'll be mentioning 2 grants, one $850 monthly grant and another $100,000 grant. Make sure you watch the video to the end and leave a comment below if you need help with anything. Getting grants can seem like playing the lottery. You play once or twice and you hope you get it. But there's a formula for grants, for getting grants consistently, quarterly, monthly, and annually. There are grants that you get once, or one-time awards, and then there are grants that you get repeatedly, for years, for the duration of time that they're open. Those grants are called multi-year grants, and they provide you with a guaranteed income stream for years to come. So this is when you're getting grant money that spans years, as opposed to just a one-time thing. So as I share with my students all around the country all the time, if you're going to be pursuing grants, there are 2 things that you need to keep in mind. Number 1, you need to know what you're doing. And number 2, it's got to be well worth it. Now, multi-year grants, they are well worth it. And there are many great benefits for getting a multi-year grant. Number 1 is guaranteed income. It's guaranteed income for the duration of time that the grant exists and the duration of time that you've been approved for that multi-year grant. Number 2 is long-term. So from your launch to your finish, the multi-year grant continues to give towards your vision. Unlike one-time grants that may give you an infusion, but not see you all the way through to completion. And in some cases with those one-time grants, some people have not been able to finish to completion what they started because that one-time grant was just an infusion. It wasn't enough to be able to carry them through all the way through to finish and complete what they started. A third benefit to multi-year grants is that it truly establishes you, your name, your business in the community. A fourth benefit to multi-year grants is that it positions you better with banks and grants. Banks like consistency. So multi-year grants give you that guaranteed income and consistency that banks are looking for. This can better position you and help you when you're looking to try to build business credit, when you're looking to try to build up your profile in the community, and also where you're looking to be better positioned when it comes to credit unions and banks and financial products. Another great benefit to multi-year grants is that it helps you get other grants. So there's a recognition and a branding that comes with multi-year grants. It puts you in kind of like in the MVP status. So other grant makers and other grant sources are looking at you as a responsible entity and a responsible source to be able to give towards because you received a multi-year grant. And finally, one of the most important benefits of multi-year grants is having long-term financial stability and financial independence. So you can actually focus on your vision and focus on your goals rather than raising funds. You can actually see through your projects, whether that's constructing a building or completing a business project or completing actually a nonprofit project. Whatever you're doing with the funds and you've been granted the funds for, you can actually go ahead and follow through and see the project through without having to stop and raise funds or stop waiting for money to come in because you have that guaranteed income that's been given to you for the duration of years that you have the multi-year grant. So I'm going to be sharing with you 2 multi-year grant examples. The first one is in Georgia, the In Her Hands Grant, which is an initiative between Give Directly and the Georgia Resilience Opportunity Fund. So this is a grant with a $15 million goal, and they're aiming to target 650 women across Georgia with $850 per month grants for the next 2 years. So this is the largest guaranteed income project in the South to date. And these are invite-only guaranteed income cash assistance because they're targeted. So unlike universal basic income that targets an entire population, guaranteed income projects like this grant target specific demographics, people, and income levels. So in this case, they're targeting Black women in the South that need help in order to be able to advance through their community. So as I shared earlier, the grants are being administered through Give Directly and the GRO Fund. And they're launching in Atlanta's old historic 4th Ward in early 2022. So the goal with these multi-year grants and guaranteed income cash advances is to help these targeted Black women with economic insecurity and wealth disparity. Because no matter how much money you save, if you don't have enough money coming in, you're never going to be financially stable. So the community-driven task force from the GRO felt that this was the best way to establish this guaranteed income project by calling it In Her Hands. So this is a direct, no strings attached grant given to these women to be able to empower them to move forward. So they actually have the extra income for 2 years in order to be able to get more financially stable and get ahead of their expenses. So as I shared earlier, this is an invite-only multi-year grant. So although this grant is invite-only, there are many grants such as these around the country. The second multi-year grant example I'd like to share with you is the Avenue NYC grant in New York City. So this is a $2 million community revitalization grant, with each grant averaging around $100,000, but some going up to $300,000. So these are multi-year grants targeting specifically neighborhoods to recover and revitalize from the pandemic. And these grants are being given to CBDOs, or community-based development organizations, to flow through to small businesses. So small businesses that are aligned with the right CBDOs, or community-based development organizations, are having the benefits of these grants and expanding their operations and expanding their businesses. So the Avenue NYC grant is a combination of funds from the Federal Development Block Grant and also the America's Rescue Plan Act. And they're distributing these funds across all boroughs, including Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, and also Staten Island. From community-based development organizations in Chinatown, Manhattan, to Sunset Park in Brooklyn, Flatbush, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Richmond Hill in Queens, and more. All of these areas and all of these small businesses and these communities have been impacted by the power of this multi-year grant. So it reinforces these businesses and helps them to be stable for a long time as the economy and the neighborhoods continue to recover from the pandemic. So a great way to get access to these multi-year grants is to know how to properly align yourself. Number one, you need to know how to find the multi-year grants. And then you need to know how to align yourself so you receive the benefits of the multi-year grants and the guaranteed income year after year for the duration of the grant term. So with all the multi-year grants that are given as a part of this fund, some organizations will receive more years than others. But this is a great example of what a multi-year grant structure looks like. You can get more information by going to nyc.gov/Avenue NYC. So if you'd like to know more about multi-year grants, how to find them, and where the grant sources are, and access to our list of over 200 grants, make sure you join us for our Grants Masterclass by going to my website, AskRinde.com, clicking on Grants, and getting started today. This is where you learn how to establish yourself in grants and get the grants formula so you're getting grants consistently and you're no longer playing grant lottery and hoping and wishing you're going to be able to receive grants. So join us for our masterclass. You can actually go to my website, AskRinde.com, click on Grants, and get started today. So we look forward to seeing you inside the masterclass. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You can also email me. My email address is askrindenetwork@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.